All right, hello. It has been at least 2 weeks since I've recorded last. Also, I'm a little sick, if you can't hear that. I've been farming kind of off and on. I haven't really touched it much in the last week, aside from like a light play session. So, we're not doing online yet. I really want the Master's Sword, if that's what it's called. The Monoblos Heart Upgrade Sword. The Chief's Sword. I can find many different ways to call it. But I don't have that yet. I never got a Monoblos Heart. Because I haven't been just farming straight Monoblos. I have been trying to get a little bit of rust stones as well. So, the question on the rust stones, there's a real easy way to get a rusted weapon. How it works, if I haven't said it before, I may have said this before, but I'll just go over it again. So, how rust stone polishing works is that you get a rust stone from mining a certain area in the volcano in low rank. And there's like a 5% chance for a rust stone. And it's not identified, but there are individual rust stone types for each weapon. So as long as you say get a rust stone for a hammer, it will always be a hammer. It won't be a rusted hammer, it will be a random hammer that can be from the pool of rust stones. So you may be wondering then, what's the point if I don't know what it is before I polish it? Well, something you can do is save the game, which you're going to be saving the game after you complete the quest most of the time anyways. Polish it and see what type it is. In fact, I have, and I'm probably not going to use it very much because I don't think the rusted sword and shield is as good as the other rusted weapons that I'm trying to aim for, but that's how I got the rusted sword. So I got a sword and shield rust stone. I polished it. I figured out it was a sword and shield rust stone. And then what you do is you reset the game and progress a quest. It's very similar to other mechanics in later games, like cycling quests out and things like that. I don't really know anything off the top of my head. But this is a form of, I guess, save scumming. However, this isn't like a Steam game save scum where you go outside of the game and like save the file and do things like that. This is pure raw doing it in the game, so I don't mind it as much. It's not as much work, obviously, but I don't think it's as bad because if they didn't want you to do that, there are ways around it. They could just make the rust stone a specific weapon and not let you cycle it. And I'm trying to think of how I would have personally played the game, and I don't really care that much, honestly. If I were playing the game, I would have tried to get the lance rust stone and just cycle it until I get a rusted lance. However, I do want to wait until high rank. I think my damage will be fine with the lance and the hammer that I have, and I want to upgrade the sword and shield, the hero's blade. So once you get to high rank, rust stones are much more plentiful, and it's not going to be as bad of a grind. So I do want to try to get the hammer and lance rusted weapons, which is, it's kind of funny. So the current lance I have right now, which is kind of the Iopre lance, it's just the bone one, the final bone lance, has the same amount of raw as the rusted hammer final upgrade, which is weird, but that's just kind of how this balancing works, I guess. So I want to wait until high rank, until I'm getting more of those and mining more of those. That way I can maybe try to do it more legitimately. Again, not that I really care that much, but you know how it is. I really don't, again, consider it that bad. If I could do, and you can do this just on a base PlayStation 2. That's the thing. If I were abusing the mechanics of the way I'm playing it, I can understand the iffiness on that a bit more, but if you're able to do it that way, there is item duping too. I think that one's a little bit more dubious, but again, I don't care as much about that, but I don't want to go through the effort of item duping. I don't have enough of this as is, and I don't mind mining for stuff. I've almost got all of the earth crystals I need for one You need like 120, so I have a 99 stack here, and then I have 4. I guess I'll show off what I was doing to farm that. Let me get the items that I needed, though, first. I have enough pickaxes. So I've been buying a Farcaster, and it's very helpful because the place where you get the redstone in low rank also has 2 other mining spots. So you just go up there and mine it. I do the Psarios quest. You can do the Gravios quest too, but Psarios I think is just easier to manage and he goes down quicker. I'm not farming it for Psarios, I'm farming it for materials. If there were a gathering quest or a harvestor quest, which you can do online, I think. Well, it's like, it's weird. It's like an event only. But I won't even bother like consuming rations or anything because I think it is faster to just run up there. Because once you use that initial burst of stamina, which you're having to stop for anyways, for consuming them, you're just staying in a middling range anyways. It's not like you gain a certain amount quicker if you let it, you know, if you rest for longer. Like, it's not a scaling amount that you gain. So, like, at first it would be 100% per second back, whatever that means. And then it goes to 200% per second, something like that, as the longer you wait. So every 2 seconds it increases. It just is always static. So you can just kind of do this and it's just as fast as far as I'm aware. I don't think you like slow down or anything. Comparatively, you're just waiting longer for your stamina bar to refill if it's a longer stamina bar. But you're not having to wait. Yeah, you can eat a ration while your stamina recovers. And that is technically more efficient than just eating them as soon as you grab them. But again, you can also just walk and have your stamina recover as well. I'm not really too worried about making it that efficient. There's after a certain point of optimization where you're just kind of stressing out for no reason. It's not like it's saving that much time anyways, just as long as you don't go down into red, because then that stops you in your tracks when you stop running. And that's kind of annoying. Also, so the mic may sound a little bit different. The fun part is that, okay, so I figured out that I was only recording my audio, all of my audio at like 160 kilobits, something like that. And I guess the recommended range is 320. This is the spot where you get a redstone, by the way, if you get one. And I changed my mic audio to that. Didn't change the music audio because it didn't sound too terrible on the standard amount, and I want to try to save space where I can without, you know, ruining the quality too much. And it did sound better. The problem was I wanted to see how it sounded raw, and it still didn't sound very good raw. And I forgot which filters I had turned on and turned off. So it may sound a little weird from last time, but hopefully it ultimately sounds better. Things shouldn't sound as lower quality. Whatever that means, that's a very wide dynamic range of things. Okay, this is kind of a bad pull. So what happens is okay, so I can either do this 2 ways. Either if I don't get a redstone, I can abandon the quest, redo it until I get one, or I can take the earth crystals I get and then go fight Psarios. I'll abandon. I'll do one more run just to see if I get a redstone. If I'm purely focusing on redstones, it is faster to do the abandoning thing. However, if I need a bunch of earth crystals anyways, and also money, it's like 100,000 zinni to upgrade it. I don't even know what I'm at right now. I should have a decent amount. I've been farming. But if I need the money anyways, you know, I'm selling iron ore because I already have 2 stacks of iron ore, I think. Status. Yeah, we got 83,000. So, you know, it's kind of like a side path. So I'm slowly gathering rust stones, but I'm also gathering the other materials that are required. And it may be better to farm Monobolus for the money than it is to farm Psarios. I don't really know, though. Anyways, that's really what I've been up to. It's not the most interesting thing in the world, but farming really never is. That's why you put something else on and listen to that while you're doing your mindless tasks. Viserios goes down pretty quickly at the very least. I think I've been learning a little bit better on how to lance things. That doesn't mean things don't go very poorly sometimes. Really dependent on what the monster decides to do. There are still annoying things that happen, even if I can mitigate them somewhat. But I think that's just the nature of the game. I think this is the fastest path to... I don't know if it matters all that much, though. Like, obviously, you don't want to go snaking around. That will obviously make it take longer, but... I think this is fine. It cuts through the middle somewhat. I think I struck an okay balance, even though I'm moving through a lot of zones. Certainly not the worst form of farming at the very least. Again, it's fairly mindless. Just low percent chance of getting what you want from it. I kept getting a lot of bowguns. I don't really care about the bowguns as much. Oh my goodness. Okay, and that's what can happen sometimes. You just get one spot. You can get like 10 sometimes. It is particularly annoying. So I'm just gonna abandon. You see how it works. I fight Viserios. Get whatever mining rewards I got when I get a Ruststone, things like that. But if I only get one spot there, I just don't really feel like I need to continue there. Obviously, I could get more Earth Crystals from the other spots, but chances are fairly slim. You don't lose anything for abandoning, have I said that enough? So, now we can farm Monoblos. Let me go ahead and sell these. I don't need those. Do need more herbs. And if I need anything else, I'll figure it out during the hunt and have to abandon for it, but that's okay. I think I've already fought Monoblos enough times, so you kind of know how this goes. But nonetheless, I still need to do it. I don't really worry about farming the horn or the tail or anything. If it breaks off, it breaks off, but it does not give me what I need. I need the heart, and the heart is a carve. The last time I did this, I got very upset because I tried to carve him, and the Vespoid and Apsaros didn't let me get the final carve. I got paralyzed like twice, and then the Apsaros was just all over me during the last 10 seconds, so I couldn't do anything. I should have killed them first, but I chose not to. I think I've said before, if he goes to the lower area, I don't even bother fighting him, because it's just not worth it. It's being very lax right now. We gotta flinch. I have been a very big fan of shield poking in this game, because it is safe. It is incredibly safe, and it's not really that much lower motion value than your regular attack, so depending on the opening, like if you have to immediately block after something, it is honestly more damage for safety. Now, it's not as good as your up thrusts, obviously, since it's not as good as your medium thrusts, but still. Please hurry. I don't really like fighting in this area, but I guess this is what I'm doing right now. Hurry up, please. Don't want to be hit by a Genpuri and then get knocked over. Okay. I'm really just waiting for him to dig and move to the next area. Okay, there he goes. Sometimes he'll get stuck in a loop or he'll run back and forth. He won't really target you. I don't know what triggers that. It is helpful if you're using hammer. It's not as helpful if you're using lance because you can't, you know, time strong individual hits. But it doesn't happen all too often. I've had it happen twice at the very least, but still. Keeping an eye on where he's facing because I think he's probably going to try to, yes, do that. Okay. Probably should have ate some rations, but oh well. Just poke the legs until he falls over and then I'll feel safe. Either that or hip check. Hip check's the best attack you can do because it is incredibly free. Rage. We know how enrages go, but that's okay. Charge into him. I think this is good damage as well. Block. Okay. Biggest damage he can do to me through shield is the digging attack. It does get kind of annoying, especially when he starts to smother you, but sometimes you can't do anything. The leg attacks are also bad because they don't really obey the laws of physics sometimes, and they kick you over even though your shield is facing the leg. It's just kind of weird. Yeah, this is gonna get a bit sketchy. Block. Okay, I think I'm safe here. He's probably gonna try to tackle. Nope, no tackle. Okay, we're good. I think there, yes, there's another Ginprey over there, so need to be aware of that. Maybe try to stay away from him. We're not ranged anymore. I'm just glad I don't have to. Okay, Farm Diablos. This is a warm up. My spacing is not quite correct. Okay, well, he noticed me on his own, unfortunately. Alright, let's just get rid of you. Or not. They're oddly agile for what they are. I mean, you know, that's kind of their whole shtick. That's why they are speed type monsters in stories. Don't hit me, please. Okay. Oh. Alright, thank you. That's a cheap attack as well. Misses a lot of the time if you're an under him, but if you are not, it will hit you a lot of the time. Like so, if it didn't miss me, it would have hit me because there's no tell for it. See, and even then, that was only a half tell. He may be leaving. Nope, not yet. Okay, you are being very stubborn today. I kind of wish I knew a little bit more about how staggers worked in this game, because they do happen quickly sometimes and sometimes they don't. I don't know if it's individual parts that matter or if it is just that you're dealing a lot of damage sometimes. think he's leaving. No, you are not leaving. Okay. Bouncing now randomly. I guess just late timing, maybe. Okay, now you're leaving. Yes. Okay. Sometimes this goes quickly, sometimes it doesn't. It really just depends on what kind of mood he's in. This area is going to be fun because you can get rid of the Apsaros eventually, but they take so long that half the time it doesn't really help that much. They go down pretty quickly, all things considered. I'm very awful at judging where he's actually at. He's here, right? I'm just going to hold block if he decides, yes, he's going to attack me. I just don't get it. His leg moves backwards, and for whatever reason that means it hits you forwards. I don't know. Kind of surprised the leg is appearing to be a better hit zone than the arm. Unless it's just a specific spot on the arm. Block, okay, good job. Okay. It's gonna turn. Good tail cut. It's just such a nice tool. I like that it's actually useful in this game. I don't like the circumstances that make it useful, but I do like that it is useful. Like, you can kind of understand why it exists, as opposed to later games where it just kind of feels useless. Okay, thank you, Vespoid. He's not enraged anymore, so he'll move a bit slower. Okay, that was a very quick area too. Stop, please. I don't think I need to sharpen again. I mean, I could. That would probably close it out. I don't have to think about it too much, but it'd be okay. Wouldn't hurt to throw a paintball at him, though. and then kind of wait for him to stop quickly one of these days. Doesn't look like he wants to do it. That would be a good thing to not shield poke for. Again, you gotta manage it correctly. What is that? You want a faster time, then you're not going to be shield poking as much, but you're also leaving yourself more open to danger. Love it. Gotta love it. Doesn't make any sense at all, but just works that way. There we go. Okay. Not too terrible. Not too great. I do wonder what the correct point is to sell Monobliss stuff. Sure, it fetches a nice price. You know, I guess I could check if there's some mining spots around here. That would be useful to know. Area 6. Okay. So the nice thing about Monobliss farming is I'm also getting a lot of large and I think medium monster bones, which will help maybe for later. Again, I don't know how much crafting I'm gonna have to do really later on, because the balancing in this game is very unique. I've got 85 Monobliss shells. I feel like the safe thing to do is just get a stack and then just start selling everything else, because realistically, what am I gonna do with 99 Monobliss shells? So it's safe to sell. I've got 91 medium monster bones. I guess I could look. Gotta research, make sure I'm doing things correctly. So, Gravios armor is what large monster bones are for. Trade it for Mycolite ore. Medium, not large. Sorry. Yeah, doesn't look particularly special. I can use it to make flutes, but I don't really care about that. Same here, just bone weapons for the large and then Gravios Plus materials, but I don't think I'm going to be making any Gravios Plus stuff. So, I probably don't need these anymore, but I'm going to save them anyways. And then the Blows materials. So the Fang. I don't have too many of those, so I don't have to sell them. I mean, those don't sell for very much, but more Zinni is more Zinni. Could use the bombs, but I don't really feel like they're that important. I want to try to get along without it, and then that way when I do have to use them, I'm not struggling. If I ever have to use them. Again, I'm very curious how those later skilled quests are going to be. Four Horns is probably the main one I'm worried about. I don't know how Fatalis is balanced, in all honesty. But Diablos has a lot of health in high rank, and you have to fight two of them, and there is no health scaling. Don't leave, please. He's moving too slowly to leave. Okay, that's fine. So, if I wanted to be efficient, I would go to the next area and just start killing off the Genprey. However, I don't think he will leave if I leave. So I kind of just have to wait for him to do his thing. And do his thing he will. There we go. This confused me, but a lot of things confuse me in this game. Just have to try not to question it too much. Very surprised that blocked. Not gonna complain though, just surprised. I'm surprised he's not falling over either. Just happens so quickly. It's like a combo you do? No, it's not. Maybe the roar, does that like trigger them? Find it very interesting. I'll block this, fine. I think he's not enraged anymore, so I can get my shield down a little bit more. Okay. It's awful positioning. Very weird angle. He doesn't normally use those instant charges that much. I know I've said this before, but they do kind of just get weird AI patterns. Sometimes. He was in the other area by now. Do I have to aim backwards? Oh wait, I may not have had enough stamina. That may be why I'm getting hit. The annoying part is it takes so much stamina just from those tiny little leg hits. So it leaves you open to larger attacks. Alright. Round 2 with the Apsaros. That not register with them? Okay. I guess not. Not yet anyways. Did you notice me, or are you just migrating over this map? It's just migrating. There is something I saw called wall locking. I don't know how to do it, but I did see it was a thing. I don't know if it has to do with them getting stuck in the wall or what, or if it's a form of head locking. Well, it may be both. A combination of the two. Hey, that one didn't explode. Doesn't matter, I'm not gonna bother carving it. Unless you just leave right now, then I'll curb it. But doubt that's gonna happen. You're enraged. Uh-oh. Oh. Bad, 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 bad. This is bad. I may be dead. I can't do anything though. Oh. No tail attack and we're safe. No tail attack and we're safe. Okay. Alright, fun times. I am alerting the entire party that I'm here. Which kind of stinks, but oh well. He may leave anyways. He's leaving anyways. There we go. Worked out in my favor. No, why did I do that? No, please. It's like, oh, I forget what clicking in the stick does. It does your charge. I've been doing it the entire time. I did mean to do it, but I didn't know what it did. It was great. Now we're back to low health again. Do something, okay. Yeah, he's not keen on the hip checks either. This is a particularly annoying AI set to do or deal with. There we go. Okay. All right. Does that have like a sharpness penalty on it? There we go. Again, not too bad. Just sometimes things go wrong. And you lose some reward because of it, but that's okay. The main reward is the carve. And that's the thing. This is for pure farming. Hey, I'm not going to care about a card or two if I'm just clearing quests. And no heart. Oh. So, that's fun. I don't know if I farmed Kutku for longer than this at this point. Also, that was a very slim reward. Got 4 things. Let's see how much they sell for. In fact, as long as I don't have any special monster bones, so those sell for 220. Sells for a lot. That's a good portion. Same with that. This is weird. It feels like the jaws and the things. Well, it's not the same thing, but very similar. Are more rare, yet they sell for less. Again, ideally I get a Rusted Lance, but I could get it pretty quickly if I really did just want to reset for it. But I don't know. And I'm doing things wrong. Does this matter that much? It kind of does. Oh well, I need to make it before he moves to the other area. I'm sure it'll be fine. If I cart, I cart. I guess the main thing stopping me from doing it is that it's the final upgrade that I'm looking for. I don't know why I'm blocking. I know it doesn't affect me. I don't mind waiting till high rank to actually get the final upgrade, and my damage feels fine as is. Doesn't feel required. You know, things will be taking twice as long, 3 times as long in high rank, but you know, once I'm in high rank, I can actually farm it for real and not think too hard about it. It is nice. Stamina does recover while attacking. And shield. If it didn't, it'd be a lot more difficult to use. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Are we doing that thing that I was talking about? Oh, are we really doing it? Okay. cool. Yeah, so this happens sometimes. As you can see, he's not targeting me. He just kind of does this. It's annoying when you don't have hammer, because you kind of just have you're at his mercy essentially. But this is how I did figure out you can actually get rid of all the Ginprey. See, look at this. Oh, look at this. Keep missing. You know what? I'm just gonna sit over here and let all of them come to me, and I'll shield poke them. I think this is one of the scenarios where Hammer can actually outpace Lance's DPS. He'll do this until you make him mad. I think you make him mad. Either that or you actually knock him over. But until then, you have to actually deal damage to him. He's not just gonna stop. Unless, well, I mean, you may like have to wait 30 minutes for him to stop. Obviously, I don't want to do that. And he may stop now. Are you gonna stop now? No, we're not. It's so weird. I just don't get it. If I could aim better, this would go quicker. Just need to knock him over. That's all I need to do. I guess if I could avoid knocking him over, then this is completely free. However, it's kind of hard to do that. There we go. Now we're working again, I think. Or not? Oh no, are we? Okay. Maybe it's just until his area timer ends. Granted, I don't know what that is. I don't think it's a set thing in this game. Maybe it is, though. Either that or there's like this weird axis he's on. There we go. Okay. Fair enough, I guess. This should snap him out of it. He's leaving now. Okay, well, that's good. Again, it's free damage. I can't really complain that much. What he'll probably start limping in the next area, though. What I would probably do is... Yeah, I guess that's maybe a good idea. I don't know. Go grab the items once he moves to the Apsaros area, but... Not sure if I'm gonna need to do that or not. I guess it'll depend on what my current situation is when that happens. Okay, thank you. Oh. It's my bad. Again, there's plenty of tell on that, so long as you're paying attention. Cool. Sharpness is down. Oh yeah, bouncing. That's right. Okay, well, there we go. We can grab it now. We'll let him get whatever that is out of his system. Since my stamina refreshed, I don't have to eat a ration yet. You know, I should have just, well, I was trying to get out and heal and sharpen, but I think you saw how well that went. That's so cheap. It's so cheap. That shouldn't count. It shouldn't count. A lot of things shouldn't count, but whatever. What am I hitting? I guess I'm hitting the stomach. Again, I'm kind of surprised the legs are better than the stomach from what I can tell. Also just getting a lot of DPS in, I guess. He's falling over quite a bit. Okay, yes, miss every single one of those pokes. I did not turn around there either. Sharpness has decreased already. Well, I did say he was probably going to be limping in the next area, and he is. Alright, good job. Don't pay attention to the map. I think you can see how I would not have been able to get that last scarf, because they are all over you. Thankfully, I haven't been paralyzed a single time yet, so that's nice. And still no heart. Oh yeah, Area 6, where is that at? That is probably one of the side areas, if I had to guess, and that's not really close enough. Not after I get all 4 carves. See, look at all those rewards. Didn't even break any parts that time either. Only need 4 more and then I can just start selling them in bulk. Guess I could try to bait that out of them. Stand in that particular spot. Just don't know what triggers it. Is it inevitable or is it just a thing that you can influence and sometimes it happens? Ooh, I should have thrown a paintball at you, my friend. Let's do that before I forget. Alright, that actually did activate. Like, is it maybe the same? Ooh, let's not linger too long while he's digging. Let's see. I want to see if you can make him do that thing. Stay around the seam here, make him attack on it. Am I gonna be free? What are you doing? Okay, maybe no. Charge me. There we go. He didn't stop. Maybe I have to get him to stop. So let's try to stop him short. Eh. He's leaving anyways. Okay, that's fine. Again, if I get it to work, great. If not, he leaves anyways. So it's a win-win. Maybe I have to make him flinch on it or something like that. That seems like that may be the happening. That was dumb of me. I could have gotten much more damage off there. Granted, I'm still kind of restricted by Begin Prey, but, you know, that's just how it works. I'm at a perfectly safe distance to disengage. Go away, please. Thinking the left foot is easier to hit when he emerges from the ground. Well, I'm glad that didn't matter because I did not get turned around fast enough. Okay. There we go. Fair enough. Again, I ain't really that worried. I'm losing, what, 1200 zenny of reward every time I cart. As long as I don't fail it outright, then I can just sell the parts and make up that loss. Again, obviously, profit is good, but hurt is more important. I don't really think I've attacked enough for that to be useful. Oh well. Is that charge combo any good? I know in Generations, base Generations, it was really good. All you did with it was spam charge, but I think that was unique to Generations. I think it has a generally high motion value. Situationally, it's probably the best option sometimes, but I don't think it's that spammable. I think my mic is a little too sensitive. I went to mute it because I had to cough and loud noises occurred. Just kind of annoying, but oh well. Alright. Starting to get a little bit too impatient. Starting to get a little bit too impatient. Well, that didn't matter. I don't... Okay. No, we're not gonna get too mad. I don't get why Vespoid's hitting you from behind and dropping your guard makes it so that anything else you get hit by makes you get hit. But that's why that is the second worst area. It's not as bad as the area with the Ginprey, but it's worse in the sense that you have to deal with it more. There have to be some iframes, or there has to be some sort of iframes when you get hit. And then they just immediately spawn you in this area. You know, I guess I could, like, walk out to reset. Let's try that. You know, walk over here, and then the small monsters will reset, the large one won't. And I can maybe abuse that to my power. Right? Yes. It's very weird, but it works. Just have to make sure it don't hurt again. Why did that hit? Go, go, go. Okay. That was scary. Yeah, anytime I touch the mic, it just takes that and amplifies it, which I do have a compressor that is why it amplifies it, but still. Okay. Missed. It's okay. We're gonna zone and sharpen real quick. You can't be playing any funny games with the monster when I'm on one cart. Can't really do much if you keep comboing me like that. Should be safe here. Hey, look at that! There's the heart I was looking for. Yay, I'm happy. Now the game just doesn't need to crash and we're all good to go. I'm very thankful. I'm very thankful indeed. I'm not gonna do anything. I was gonna look at what other uses it had, but I'm gonna guess like the chest piece be me in high rank or something like that. But maybe not. Well, no. Well, I don't know. Would there be Monoblos plus armor? This is a single player only monster. Obviously they can supplement it with like Diablos part stuff, but eh. I'm glad I didn't abandon. Or fail. You know, that's nice. Not that I would have known, but... In the Hunter citation and the commendation. How much is it? $48,000. Okay. I hope I'm not losing my voice. Hit 3 defense. That is helpful, sure. It's cool looking. Not that you can see it right now, but still, it's cool looking. But that is the best? That's a good question. Is it better than the Rusted? Rusted's kind of weird. So the final level of the Rusted one is elemental focused. Let's see here. So Eternal Strife is the final Rusted Sword and Shield. It has 83 attack, which I know is not very much, but it has 520 or 52 Dragon Element, which is pretty good against Dragon Weak monsters. Now, I don't know if that many monsters are Dragon Weak in this game. I assume if they are, this is a pretty good option. So, Rathalos, Rathian. Well, Rathalos is only 2. Rathian's 3. Kutku's only 1. So, you know, it's okay. And the second one, which is interesting, you can actually downgrade back into the legendary sword, which has 349 raw. The problem with that is, though that is 281 raw, it has a tiny sliver of green. How many hits is that? That is 10 hits of green sharpness, which is garbage for a sword and shield nonetheless. Undertaker, which is the lance, the Rusted Lance, has 528, which is 259, so less raw, but 50 hits of sharpness, green sharpness, which is much better. And then the hammer, I think, has 225, because that's what my current lance has. Yes, 225 with 40 hits. So that's why I didn't really mind making the Rusted one the sword, because it just isn't that good anyways. Meanwhile, this one, the Hero's Blade, is 279 raw, which is less, but you have what, like 70? No, 140 hits of green, which is very nice. Just the fact you don't have to sharpen that much is very useful. Also, it has 225 raw, which is the same as my lance. And the same as the final Rusted Hammer. So that's very nice. We like that. What's the Fatalis Lance have? I think you're not Fatalis Lance. It's 321 raw, which is less. But it does have 32 Dragon Element, which is pretty good. Yeah, that's 260. That's pretty good. Okay, well, now that that's done, I guess I can do a little bit of mining. Sure, why not? That 99? It is 99, perfect. That. Just sell that. I don't really know if I want to use... Yeah, I don't think Sword and Shield was that great against Besario, so I won't use it against him, but... Still, will be nice to have. Alright, time for the fun part. Also, by the way, I don't care if anyone uses a speed up or anything. Like, this is tedious. Oh, well, I guess I have it anyways. Oh well. This is tedious. I have a life too. I work a full-time job, so I completely understand if you just want to use like save states or things like that. I do not care. But for me, I want to try to slow burn the game. And also, if I get to the point where I want to do something like that, where I'm tempted to do something like that, I want to try to mitigate it. Like, if it were only 5% throughout the entire game in the one spot, and I couldn't mine more parts on the map for it, so more rust stones would be more plentiful, therefore a 1% chance when you're getting 50, just in theory, is less daunting than a 1% chance when you only get one every 5 minutes. Right. Granted, that's kind of what that's actually better than or worse than the Monoblos, which was not well. I'm not really comparing it to Monoblos. I don't know what I'm saying, but I really don't care as long as you're not like cheating the damage of your weapon and things like that. This doesn't really matter. And if you want to do that offline, you go right ahead. I do not care. If you just want to take a sightseeing tour around the game, just to see what the game has to offer, perfectly fine. Just don't go saying you beat Monster Hunter. Don't say, oh, I beat Monster Hunter 1 with infinite health. As long as you clarify that, that's fine, but okay. You don't clarify that, that's kind of dishonest. Like, yeah, sure, you rolled credits, but did you really? Again, realistically, what does this say about me? I sat in a chair for 15 hours hitting a button on a certain mining spot until I got what I needed. It's not, you know. I don't think it's worthy of clout. It's like, oh, you pressed a button 5,000 times. Congratulations. You're dedicated for sure, but I don't really think it matters that much. I need try and lower that. Oh wait, I don't think sick noises are the most pleasant thing to hear, so I try to mute those things out. Thankfully, I can do it pretty easily. There just is a different sound that accompanies it. If the trike wasn't long too, it's at the very end of the map. Probably intentionally so. Alright, so let's think about this realistically. I need money. I need a lot of money. In fact, it's kind of funny. I have 48,000 zenny, which was the same price. I don't think it matters that much right now if I get the rest stone. Like, obviously it's nice to lock it in and have it, but I need the money anyways. Sometimes you just get really bad pickaxe RNG too. Kind of funny, but also not great. Many, well, earth crystals don't matter right now. Maybe they do. One. Okay. Money. Money, 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 money. I need money. Thankfully, I won't bounce on the legs, and I have a lot of green sharpness. So, maybe I can just, like, go very crazy on the legs here and not worry about bouncing or anything like that. That makes a cool little noise. There's a Palico weapon that is just the sword. Not very good. I think it's purple sharpness in GU. But, well, I think it's okay. It's like a comparable okay if you want to use it for the cosmetic design option. Oh yeah, I forget how bad Sword and Shield is with dropped inputs. Yeah, that recoil is a little much. What about recoil here? Actually ain't that bad. I think large recoil is just always large recoil. Like, if it's large recoil for Lance, it's the same for Sword and Shield. Ugh. He's still kind of oddly configured. End up bouncing on the wings a lot of the time. Does that use sharpness in this game? Probably, right? Flexibility is very nice, though. Ah, the face count in there. Okay, good job. I am pressing left on the control stick. It is doing the up attack. This is like a perfect anti-sword and shield lunge attack. Hey, look at that. The weapon sharpness decreased. It's gotta be from sharpening. Or not sharpening, blocking. Yeah, that didn't even take me up to max. So it has a similar issue with, or not issue, but interaction to the maximum stamina bar. You know, it doesn't matter after you reach a certain point because your whetstones only restore so much. Health also works that way too. You know, it'll let you survive an initial hit, but after that, you're still having to work to make up that difference with your potions. Lance doesn't use its sharpness for blocking, so you get to block things more freely without having to worry about losing sharpness and things like that. This just kinda sucks. Just take the roar. There we go. I'm not terrible, honestly. It's the first time I've used Sword and Shield in a while, so I think it went pretty well. There's less lockdown points with Sword and Shield because you can just kind of run away. Lance, you can't do that with. You can also roll away with Sword and Shield. It's a bit harder to back up away with Lance. Don't know if that's faster, though. Again, maybe with some refinement, but... I guess I should probably try to turn this up, right? Well. Yeah, my mic is on a different scene though, so I'd have to... Well, I'll worry about it later. Well, maybe... No. Ooh. Take that back out, please. Yeah, I can start selling those. I need to recuperate some funds. Thankfully, this quest is always available. Unlike Monoblos, which sometimes isn't there. You know, one of the most annoying things about my setup is that I have an audio dial for my mic, and there's a gain option on it. And I have the gain. And if I think it's too loud, I drop the gain. The problem is, once the computer resets, it sets the gain back to the other level, and I do not remember. I don't know how you set it and make it stay, because I want to be able to do it on the dial. I don't know what it changes to. I don't know what changes, really, honestly. But that's just how it is, I guess. It eventually sticks, but I don't know. I don't know. Just ranting. I know my nose is getting clogged up. Ugh. You stop breathing out of it for 5 seconds and then can't breathe out of it for the next 4 hours. You don't want to make any gross noises, so you don't, you know, I guess I could mute. Okay, I'll mute. We'll see. Okay. Maybe that's a little bit better. Got a rust stone. You can actually get multiple as long as they're not the same type. Which is kind of nice. But it would be nicer to be able to get multiple of the same type. Oh well. No, 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 no. That's the bad combination. You don't want to do that when you get what you want. Some nice synergy. It is weird. Instead of like recovering at twice the speed, it instead recovers twice the amount. Okay, you start. Okay, so that's bad. Normally he doesn't start with the beam. A lot of the time he'll, you know, fake you out with a fake beam. But he won't actually use the beam. I don't know what is going on today. He must just be really fired up for whatever reason. So the idea is that you get him to chase you and he'll run into the powder stones. However, that didn't happen here. So that's kind of annoying. Just try to aim that into the wing, that way I don't get sent as far back. Obviously, again, he's just a little mini monoblows. You got the tackles. Tackles are worse because they actually damage you, so you don't want to block them if you don't have to. Got the tail attack, which comes around on the third swing. You're safe after that. Trip you all the time. It's got the wyvern sweep. Very similar, just a little bit shorter. It also uses much less stamina when you block. Ah, missed it. It's okay. We're fine. Yes, fly off that direction. A little too late on that. The idea is to try not get out too far in front of him because he'll tackle. Oh wow. Okay. Good job. So, when I just rolled there while I was running up to Basarios, I clicked the right back pedal on the Switch 2 controller, and it made me roll. Now, that's a little weird, because I thought it was the A button at one point. Maybe not, maybe it was always the B button, but I wonder if it changes every single time. Sometimes you get a good layout. Means I don't bother using it anyways. Yeah, that was much faster. So that's A. No, I think it's the same. It was the left one was square before, so I don't know why they mapped to that. But whatever. You know, I should be mining for iron ore, get that extra money. Oh well. Alright, so we have saved. I'll go ahead and show this off. Unless I get arrested Lance. You know, so, since it's already a sword and shield, I don't really feel too bad about this. So, I don't feel too bad about it anyways, but that was not a rested weapon. So, if we want a rested weapon, we now have to reset the game before we polish it. You can do that a number of ways. I will do this without having to actually reset the console. I will not save. I will quit to the main menu. I will quit unsaved. It's easier to mess that up though, so it's easier to just reset the game. Did get online set up, so I should be able to just jump into it. There are no private lobbies. I think you can set yourself to like private hunts. So I can't control what other people say. That will be an important thing I will have to mention. So now, I don't think this matters in the slightest. Just abandon the quest, I think. I think I can just abandon. Because that cycles a quest. Could be wrong, though. So we got a Hunter's Dagger Plus before. It's pretty good, you know. If you're not getting a rusted weapon, you want a weapon with a high value on it, right? So a Hunter's Dagger Plus is an upgraded weapon. So that would have sold for a lot. Actually, I may be sacrificing something here. Unless I get another rusted sword and shield, and I'm not, because I can sell that for a lot. Or keep it and just have both. I really do not care about the rusted sword and shield though. Okay, so now we polish it. Now it's a hunter's knife. So that's how that works. It's pretty simple. Just keep cycling quests until you get what you want. Let's go ahead and sell that. Go ahead and do one more for the fun of it. Okay, good job. We'll say the nice thing is though, since there are no dual blades in this game, I'm not having to deal with another weapon that I'm probably not going to end up using. Granted, if they were good, they may be good in the English release. I don't know. It would be nice to have a good pair of dual blades, but I don't really think I need to sink all of that time, money, and materials into a tertiary weapon. Only reason I have the sword and shield is just in case I really want to use it, but I really don't think it's... Maybe against Fatalis. Maybe it's like really good against Fatalis. But it's the only thing I can think of. Maybe Lao. I could see it on Lao. Lao is very weak to Dragon and GU, so maybe the same case there. And if that's the case, okay, yeah, I can see it. In fact, may not be too bad into Diablos either. I don't know. He's more like weak to water in this game, right? There's no ice on him. That's what the damage calculator is for. Tell me how much damage I'm dealing. Did I buy more iron pickaxes? I guess I did. Oh well. Ideally, by the time I'm fighting Diablos, by the time I'm fighting Lao, I have a good lance. I mean, did I get one? Did I get only one again? Two. Okay, I got a lot of iron ore though, so I'll keep it. However, I guess, yeah, I am pretty much ready for online, right? His health persisted. That's weird. They reset their positions in their AI, but not their health. Wonder if that works differently online. Yeah, look, that's how this is supposed to work. Keep pivoting around him with shield recoil. You get far enough away and he tackles. I don't like this. Ain't gonna fight him over there, so I'm gonna wait him out over here. Kinda wanted to side hop there, but didn't happen. Okay. Greedy. This is bad. This is really bad, actually. Alright, we're good. You don't have to... Okay. You saw how far that tail hitbox extended, by the way. Not that I had much hope there, but... Still, just rubbing salt in the wound. I would love to see how quickly he actually gets it under the ground, because it's almost immediate. Really do not know where I need to aim my shield at that point. Thank you, Vespoid. Anything about that? Please turn. Very hard to be predictive in this game sometimes because you don't quite know when it will actually start letting you move around again and stuff. All right. There we go again. Oh, no, just a flinch. Very low health. Thank you, Vespa. Again, just there's no iframes. You don't deserve iframes. I'm gonna die here. I can't block that without taking damage. Silly. Newer games do give you some iframes. Maybe not that much, but I've had my cat hit me many times, not just in the newer post 5th gen stuff, but even in older games, your cat will hit you and you will avoid an attack because of it. That is quite ridiculous, though. Oh, here comes the Vestblade from behind. Tag team combo of the century. Bug and Rock. Now, with all of that stuff about rust stones being said, yes, it would be nice to have a rusted weapon to use to make low rank faster, because it's going to be quite a while before I get to high rank. As long as it doesn't matter that much, I think I'm hyping low rank up a little bit too much in terms of how difficult it's going to be. It's going to take twice as long. That's it. And that's, you know, well, it's not on gathering quests, but it kind of is, because gathering quests make you deliver more items. Good chunk of iron ore. Get these put away. Okay, there we go. That's the main thing I was going for today, so I am quite happy with that. Thank you for watching, hope you enjoyed. I will see you, I guess, for online quests, town quests, next time. Again, gonna be doing them solo, so we'll see how that goes. Either way, thank you for watching once again.